What's going on, metalheads? Welcome back to I Dream of Indie, or if it's your first time here at our channel, welcome, and do consider hitting that subscribe button below for all the latest indie game reviews and previews. My name's Ole Gamer Joe. Today we're taking a look at a fun little shooter on the Nintendo Switch called SturmFront, the Mutant War. The storyline is very simple here. You play as Siegfried von Hammerstein. The year is 1984, which just so happens to be the year I was born, and you have to kill a lot of mutants that have taken over the world. In SturmFront, you are armed with a flamethrower, and you have a decent variety of other weapons, including a spread shot, a machine gun, all the fun stuff you would expect in an arcade-style top-down shooter. SturmFront features 5 levels with 5 different bosses and 3 different difficulties, though you will have to complete the game once either on easy or normal to unlock the devastatingly difficult hard mode. Hard mode is as brutal as you would expect, with bullets spewing all over the screen. It fringes on being a bullet hell game. In fact, the developers call it one. I don't know, it's pretty close in my opinion. I think it's manageable, but hard mode does take it up a tick, but on normal and easy, yeah, you can learn patterns, you can dodge your way around, and your flamethrower also helps you to not only take care of alien pods that spawn enemies endlessly, but if you're playing on easy, it can also cut through enemy bullets. You're going to find this to be a good starting point, especially if you're new to arcade-style shooters. It does help you to get used to the different enemies, the different patterns, and I like that this was an option. SturmFront cites Commando, Ikari Warriors, and Shock Troopers all as inspirations, and you can totally see that. There's no denying it. This game is very classic in its gameplay. It has a nice look to it, too, very reminiscent of an 80s, 90s arcade-style top-down shooter. I really enjoyed it, and there is a little bit of slowdown when the screen fills up on the Nintendo Switch. It honestly wasn't a big deal at all, though. In fact, it just strummed my nostalgia chord a little bit harder. SturmFront controls just fine on the Nintendo Switch. You have the L button to access your flamethrower. You do have to pick up gasoline for this flamethrower or it will run out. And you have the R button for your main fire. You can aim with the right stick, or you can use the face buttons. I don't really recommend doing so, but at least it's an option. SturmFront is hard, but it's fair, and I like that there are different difficulty options that cater to a variety of different players. I think the game looks really great in the same way that those classic arcade games tend to do, and I think it sounds pretty good too. I enjoyed all the voiceovers that you come across when you pick up weapons. You're always greeted to an announcer voice that's just fantastic. The explosions in this game are mostly crunchy and satisfying, but the metal soundtrack, it's okay. It's a little bit on the generic side. If you've ever listened to any metal album, you'll more or less be able to pick out some of these riffs. It's standard stuff here, nothing that's really exceptional, but at least it does fit the overall attitude of this game. I certainly could have done with a few more levels in SturmFront. It does only have 5. The bosses are a real treat too, though. I found them easier than the actual levels, at least in my experience. But the biggest flaw of this game is the fact that it's just single player. This is a bizarre choice, especially in a top-down arcade-style shooter. I just don't understand when developers go this route. Top-down shooters are more fun with a friend. There are no online leaderboards in this game either, but it is what it is. This game is affordable. It's fun, it's arcade-style gameplay that you know what you're getting for the most part. It performed pretty well even in the handheld mode too. I was a little less comfortable there because I'm just not used to that control scheme. I play on my Pro Controller a lot more, but it worked effectively. There were no real performance issues with this game outside of the slowdown that I mentioned earlier. Is it worth $10? Yeah, I think it is, especially if you're a fan of this genre. I would have liked to have seen the $4.99 price tag point here. That's what the Steam version costs, but that's not the case. $10 still, though. It's hard to argue with that price. You're getting 5 levels of good fun. I just wish I could have enjoyed this one with a friend. Thank you so much for supporting I Dream of Indie and independent content. We would now like to thank our great indie warriors, Mitchell Hall, Kevilo, Bunny, Bill Tikaz, Christian Cruz, Wesley William Semple, Strict9, Rosie Syntax, Chris Jackson, Nathan Moore, Peach, Adriana Amato, and CJR. Thank you for all you do. Everybody else, head down to the description box below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Help us bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming.